This is a company, let's keep in mind, 3 months ago, disappointed investors. I mean, the numbers were good. They showed growth, but not enough growth. I'm trying to figure out, I guess, if we're setting up for a disappointment when they report.
Yeah, I think that is such a great comment and the question that everyone's asking. And I'm going to point back to the resilience of corporate America and diverse revenue streams. NVIDIA also has diverse revenue streams, and we see an increase in gaming in addition to AI. But NVIDIA also touches what's necessary almost indirectly for blockchain, for stable coins, and this tokenization and digitization, which is very much fiscal policy, as we were saying earlier with crypto week. So NVIDIA, I do think, is absolutely still undervalued. It's not too late to get into NVIDIA. It has AI dominance, but it has efficiency dominance. And there's so much more to that story.
Ali, your comments or your analysis on the AMD upgrade over at HSBC really brings us up a good point. It might be okay to own both AMD and NVIDIA. Like, there are other players inside of the AI chip space. And if NVIDIA is doing well, AMD could do well. Maybe not Intel, but AMD.
Yeah, and AMD has done very well this year. The stock is up around 15%. So that's just something that strategists are saying, is that you don't just have to have NVIDIA. You can have exposure to a lot of various tech names and a lot of AI plays as well. There's multiple touch points here. Many have told me that we're in the first or second inning, that there's still a long runway of growth. And even if you think about the software companies, those companies that have exposure to AI, they could be another play down the line. So you have the chip makers, you have your infrastructure builders, and then all the companies that really benefit from this. So there's just a lot of opportunity in this market. And what's great is that it's not so concentrated in the Mag 7 or the tech sector. We do have this broadening out. We have record highs for financials, industrials, communication services. And that is what's going to be key to maintaining this momentum.
It's amazing just to watch this NVIDIA story. On one hand, AMD gets its upgrade. Intel's maybe on the verge of breaking itself up. Just weird times.
Let's put some.
As the first business to ever exceed a $4 trillion market value, NVIDIA's stock continued to rise, rising 1.2% to $166 on July 11th. On July 9th, the milestone was reached, and the momentum has continued throughout the subsequent sessions. About 14% of the total US GDP is represented by that $4 trillion amount. Following the launch of ChatGPT, the chipmaker has profited immensely from the rise in generative AI. Its stock rose 171% in 2024, making it one of the year's biggest winners. The stock is up around 24% so far in 2025. Given the scale of the corporation, there are concerns about how much higher the stock can rise. Geopolitical tensions and export restrictions are still affecting NVIDIA's business with China, despite the company's recent upswing. This year, the business has been subject to many rounds of regulatory pressure, including limitations on exporting its A100 and H100 GPUs to China. NVIDIA reported a $4.5 billion loss in the April quarter and stated that, had export restrictions not been in place, it might have made an additional $2.5 billion. Jensen Huang, the CEO, has cautioned on several occasions that these regulations may harm American chipmakers and jeopardize the nation's standing as a global leader in technology. According to Huang on CNBC, it is not logical to give away half of the world's AI researchers if we want the American technological stack to dominate the global arena. In other areas, such as the Middle East, there is still a high demand for NVIDIA's chips. The business announced in May that it would provide AI processors to Humain, a new Saudi tech company. NVIDIA released impressive fiscal first quarter earnings on May 28th. On $44.06 billion in revenue, adjusted earnings came to 96 cents per share, exceeding projections of 93 cents and $43.31 billion. Shares jumped 3.2% after the announcement. NVIDIA predicted $45 billion in revenue for the current quarter, which was just less than the $45.9 billion analysts had anticipated. Without the China restrictions, the company's revenue could have increased by almost $8 billion. The host of CNBC's well-liked television program Mad Money, Jim Cramer, has expressed further optimism about NVIDIA's stock. In an X post on July 9th, Cramer stated, "Please own it, don't trade it. My opinions about NVIDIA are well known, and I don't want anyone to suffer harm." The members of the watch party were inexperienced. In an X post from June, when the stock reached a new high, Cramer referred to NVIDIA as the biggest and the best. The stock of NVIDIA has increased 42,000% since his initial advice. So, what implications does this have for NVIDIA's stock? Let's explore that. But first, a big thank you to those of you who've stuck with us this far. Creating these videos takes significant effort and dedication, so if you're enjoying the content, please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and share your thoughts on NVIDIA stock in the comments. Your support truly helps us grow. Now let's get back to the video. According to Jensen Huang, CEO of the top AI chipmaker in the world, America's strategy to re-industrialize technology manufacturing is exactly what is needed. Huang, the CEO of NVIDIA, a company based in Santa Clara, California, told CNN that the U.S. should invest in manufacturing because it is now lacking that whole band in our sectors. Making things is a passion, a skill, and a craft that is valuable for economic growth and for a stable society where people can build amazing careers and good lives without needing a PhD in physics, Huang added. In an attempt to boost America's faltering manufacturing sectors, the Trump administration has implemented a number of initiatives, including hefty tariffs. The energy and automobile industries, as well as technological investments, have benefited from it. In April, following the implementation of a temporary tariff pause on smartphones and other electronics, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said, "President Trump has made it clear America cannot rely on China to manufacture critical technologies like semiconductors, chips, smartphones, and laptops. Onshoring manufacturing, according to Huang, would relieve pressure on Taiwan, home of Taiwan's semiconductor manufacturing company, the largest semiconductor manufacturer in the world." In March, Trump declared that the massive chipmaker will put at least $100 billion into American production. According to Huang, it is a wise decision to have a thriving manufacturing and industry environment that would allow us to improve the United States while simultaneously lowering our reliance on other nations. The rise in investments in AI, which propelled a tremendous technological explosion in recent years, has sparked worries about whether the technology would eventually endanger jobs. According to a World Economic Forum survey published in January, 41% of companies anticipate reducing their staff by 2030 as a result of AI automation. NVIDIA, whose market worth momentarily topped $4 trillion, has developed technology to power data centers that are used by businesses like Google, Amazon, and Microsoft to run their cloud services and AI models. Everyone's employment will be impacted. There will be some employment losses. Huang stated, "I hope that the productivity gains that we see in all the industries will lift society and create a lot of jobs." He clarified that AI is used by all NVIDIA software engineers and chip designers, and he promotes it to the point of mandating it. Recent years have seen a number of conflicts around artificial intelligence products, particularly generative response systems like OpenAI's ChatGPT and Elon Musk's Grok. Grok just started posting responses last week after Musk's XAI modified the chatbot to provide users with more politically incorrect responses. Among other offensive descriptors, it started producing hate posts that were anti-Semitic. An update of deprecated code put Grok vulnerable to user posts on X, particularly those with extreme viewpoints, according to a statement released by XAI on Saturday. The X statement claims that the code has since been eliminated. Regarding Grok, Huang said Musk has made so much progress with Grok in 18 months, but it's likely because the chatbot is younger. Naturally, there is the guardrailing and fine-tuning, and that simply requires polishing over time, he stated. Concerns have also been raised regarding AI models' propensity for hallucinations, which occur when they deviate from the script and utter false information. Similarly, some scientists have voiced concerns about losing control of powerful AI models due to their susceptibility to manipulation. However, Huang thinks that borderline scares people who are unaware of the interconnections between AI systems to ensure the technology's security. According to him, the majority of AI models rely on other AI tools for fact-checking and resource provision. He went on to say that safety procedures and international norms ought to exist. It's going to be quite positive. There will be some damage. When it occurs, the world must leap on top of it, but it will be tremendously powerful, he said. Huang said that by educating the tools about proteins and chemicals, including their meanings and interactions, AI models may be used to treat illnesses. Although it would resemble the drug development process, Huang pointed out that the amount of data needed makes it more difficult than teaching AI to understand English. We will increase our knowledge of disease and hasten the development of new medications. But eventually, scientists and researchers will have virtual assistants to help us virtually cure every illness, he stated. That day is approaching, I believe. AI will also have practical, real-world applications. Videos of physical actions can now be produced by generative models, such as Google's VO3. Making a robot that can perform comparable actions, like picking up a drink, is the next stage. In contrast to large language models, LLMs, that procedure would be a vision language action, VLA model. Today, the technology is available. According to Huang, the technology is functional today and will be widely available in 3 to 5 years. Don't forget to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your input helps create a more knowledgeable community where we can all learn and grow together in the world of investing. Stay up to date with the latest market trends, insights, and key updates by subscribing to Investing Tutorial. We're here to help you make smarter investment decisions and stay ahead of the curve.
Times.
Let's put some context behind this number. At a $4 trillion market cap, NVIDIA is now worth more than Apple, Microsoft, and even Saudi Aramco. It's bigger than Germany's entire economy and almost twice the value of the entire Russell 2000 index. And if that's still not enough to show you how dominant this company has become, you'd need 3 Metas just to get close to NVIDIA's valuation. Plus, it's also worth more than Disney, Netflix, and Comcast combined. So the big question here is, how have we arrived at this moment? Well, it all starts with those AI chips. NVIDIA secured a near monopoly on the tech that powers today's biggest AI models, and demand from companies building out these massive AI data centers that sent revenue soaring up more than 200% year over year. But what's even more wild is how fast this rise has been. If you take a look at this chart from Bespoke, just over 2 years ago, NVIDIA wasn't even in the $1 trillion club. It hit that milestone in June 2023, then doubled to $2 trillion in just over 260 days, hit $3 trillion 3 months after that, and now here we are today. And if history is any indication, these mega cap milestones, they tend to draw even more investor interest. On average, stocks that cross into the $1 trillion club rally another 9% over the next 6 months. NVIDIA's done even better, averaging gains of more than 26% after each new market cap milestone. That being said, there are still some valuation concerns, since at each one of these breakthroughs, NVIDIA has traded at an average of about 38 times forward earnings, making it one of the most expensive mega cap stocks out there. But here's the twist. As NVIDIA's market cap has climbed, its valuation has actually come down. So in other words, it's become quote unquote cheaper, even as the stock has gotten more expensive, a trend that we really haven't seen with other tech giants like Apple or Microsoft. And that's why many on Wall Street believe this stock still has more room to run even at these levels. Sources I've spoken to say NVIDIA could be on track for a $6 trillion market cap in the not so distant future. Still, that is a high bar. We just got to $4 trillion. NVIDIA, the first company here to get it done, showing that we're in this defining moment, not just for NVIDIA, but really what this AI boom could become for the entire tech industry.